right, everyone. Hello and welcome to Comics News Today. I am Chester C. Busby III, and of course, I am joined by the Denali Lama. How are you doing today, sir?
Awesome. Ready to go and hit the news.
Yeah, all right. That's what we're going to do. But before we get into that, of course, we have some updates. Just remember to check out all our links down below and come join us on Fanspeak Facebook group and get part of the conversation. Give us your opinions on news and reviews and all that kind of stuff. We want your opinion. Also, we have our art contest going on, which we're going to talk about that a little bit more later today. We're going to do kind of like a promo with some really fantastic artists and we want you guys to come back and check that out later. Also, keep in mind that we are doing podcast with Anchor, and we're going to be starting putting more and more of those on there. So that's going to be really cool as well. Now, one thing that we definitely wanted to talk about today is getting into the Comics Titan fundraiser because that is coming up here on the 31st. We're going to have the actual raffle, Denali. And the Comics Titan fundraiser is a really cool idea that's come up from Pope Fire and Eric Ninotowski. You want to tell the folks a little bit about it?
Yeah, so for people who aren't unable to afford them because they are having hard times or difficulty at the moment, but they want to have the comic books that, Comic Skates are giving are selling right now through their campaigns, then reach out to uh, Pope Fire and also Eric Newtowski, and they're the ones who are in charge of the campaign um, to give you the raffle. So I believe it's what is it, $2 for one ticket, it's $5 for three
It's no, it's $3 for one ticket and $5 for two.
for two. Okay,
Yeah, yeah.
excellent.
No, it is great,
Um,
and yeah, go over and check out Comics Titans Fundraisers Facebook page and get involved in that.
Absolutely. So some of the things that they're offering right now for the raffles is maybe you'll get a signed copy of Stardust
Mm.
or an original art from Jacob Bill from Beatdown Girl.
Oh, that's
Um,
cool.
yeah, just to name some of the few things that they're offering, or maybe a statue, you know, as well. So there's some cool things, and the current books they're giving out is Lone Star Brand, Flying Sparks, Black and White, Blue Mamba, Askar, Jungle Books, Detective Dead, Punchline, Iron Jacks, um, T-Bird, and Throttle the Ferryman,
Ooh, there you go.
Bikini Cowboy, Asami, just to name a few that they're offering. So for those that are interested to help out, buy a raffle, and you might win, and that's awesome. But you're also helping people get comic books, and that's the best part of it.
It is. And I think it's a great idea, and we want to see more and more of these things going on in the community, like the art contest we're doing, and Pope Fire's charity, and we've heard a lot of things that are going on, and it's fun, right? It's community based, and we're enjoying ourselves. So everyone that's over here in the chat and viewing us today, thank you very much. We appreciate you coming and checking us out every day and joining us. We're having a lot of fun doing this, and we hope you are too. Keep in mind, by the way, all you have to do is go over to the Facebook page, or you can go over to my page, Facebook, Chester C. Busby III, and tell me to put you on the show, and Chester will do that. We have
Mhm.
Maniac Man 2030. Hey, Chester. Hello, Maniac Man. We have Joshua Hughes, our most favorite troll. I claim this chat for the Cult of Raven with his various spelled language. But, you weren't first, Joshua, so I don't think you can claim it, but that's all right. Enjoy your claiming. Now, before we jump into the news a little bit, Denali, I thought we'd talk a little bit about the seasonal uh, things that are going on here. And of course, Halloween is right around the corner. We're going to have our special show on Halloween, so that's going to be fun. But how about you, man? When you were a kid, were you into Halloween, or you didn't do much with it?
I didn't do much with it with my family. We kind of tended to just sleep in most of the time for that. My parents didn't. see the value of giving me candy when I was hyperactive.
Oh,
So
I
it's just
see.
like adding gasoline into a raging bushfire. So they were like, "Nope, nope."
Ah, well,
Uh, yeah.
some parents don't want to give all the candy and all that stuff, and that's totally cool. It's
Mhm,
not doesn't have to be something everybody does, but a lot of us, of course, do enjoy the Halloween. I've certainly enjoyed it my whole life. I've had every year I had a good costume. A lot of mine were homemade instead of being bought, which I think personally is better. But actually, for me these days, what I do because I have a private school over here in Japan, and I put on a
mhm.
Halloween show party every year for the kids, and we just had that last week, and they had a lot of fun. We played games, we had a costume contest. And the cool thing for me is I've been doing Halloween parties, Halloween events, Halloween haunted houses, all that kind of stuff over here in where I am in Japan for I don't know 16 years I guess. And the cool thing about it was that when I first started, they had no concept, and when I told them everyone to come in a costume, and they had just these flimsy little things they bought at the dollar store, and it wasn't much of a costume at all. But now, after all these years of doing it and them understanding it, I see these incredibly elaborate attempts, just as much as you would see in the West. Like for
Mm.
instance, in the costume contest we had this week, I had a little girl who dressed up like a Starbucks coffee costume, and she made it all
That's fun.
herself. Her mom helped her. It was very cute. Um, so I love Halloween, and I'm having a lot of fun with it over here. Um,
Wow. That's kinda awesome because you're building a tradition. That's how traditions kinda happen, somebody brings that new idea in, and they start doing, and they forget it, but they do it, and especially with a small community that you live at,
mhm.
that could that could be entrenched there, a new festivity for them,
Oh,
so to
it's very
speak.
possible. Yeah, I don't know if you've noticed, Dan, Ali, but when I decide to do something, I kind of go in with both feet, you know. And I actually was when I first got here, I was having these Halloween events at all the gymnasiums at the elementary schools, all of them. And I travel around and I built like these portable walls to build a haunted house, and I just we went 100% in on it. And yeah, I have built. They have Halloween parties every year now, haunted houses. Halloween is pretty big in this little town I live in, and yeah, it's been a great experience. I think one of the cool things here is in the Japanese villages and towns, their graveyards are on the mountainsides because Japanese tend not to live on the mountainside because of the earthquakes and stuff, um, and flooding. But they put the graveyards on the mountainsides there, and of course there are these stone things because they cremate. They have cremation here, but they're spooky things at night, right? And
The challenge through the
uh,
forest.
oh, it is, man. And what we'll do is have a couple of the adults hide up with scary masks in the haka, a graveyard, and they have to climb the stairs into the haka and see if they're brave enough. And it's a lot of fun. But I hope you guys are all enjoying your Halloween and various uh, moving up to it. Do you do anything like maybe just for instance, just watching horror movies, Denali?
Yeah, I do that, pop in the old scary movies, like the first Jasons, the first Halloweens, kinda make it a tradition.
So you like the slasher
So,
flicks then?
um, sometimes scares, those are just the ones that came up because we're talking about slasher films. I like more The
Mhm.
Shining, kinda like the more funny ones, like The Frighteners. Have you ever seen that with Michael
Oh,
J.
I
Fox?
love The Frighteners, man. That is a great movie.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so it's horror, but it's also funny, and I kinda like that. That's why I kinda enjoyed, like, The Evil Dead, you know? Make me laugh, but give me some frights as well. And Kat asked, have you ever got your, community to carve out pumpkins as well?
Well, that's difficult seeing as we don't have pumpkins. We did try one year where we actually got a bunch of pumpkins in. They were a bit hard, unfortunately, and it was kind of turned out to be a mess. They were smaller than we thought, and it was e- very expensive. I did try, but it's just not practical here, unfortunately.
That's too bad.
It is, yeah,
Uh,
it is. Well, all
it's
right,
a
but
Primark. And
hey, Primark.
so what did you guys dress up for Halloweens as a kid? So the only time I ever dressed up was for a Halloween birthday party, and that was with being Superman. That's about the extension of my forte in that. How
Oh
about
wow.
you?
Oh, Superman's a great
Yeah,
costume. No,
yeah.
my best. I had a lot of costumes, like I said, but my best costume, without question, was the Blue Falcon. And my mom made that for me, and I still have fond memories of it. And I actually saw the photo of it not too long ago, and it actually still holds up. I was like, wow, that was a good costume. Because when you're a kid, you have these memories of things that's far more golden and hued than they might be in reality. But actually, it was a really good costume looking back at it. But yeah, Blue Falcon for sure. Model
Awesome.
3, hello, sir. Good evening. Okay, guys. Well, if you guys have any more Halloween comics today or over the next few days, certainly give them to us. We certainly want to enjoy the holiday as it goes along. But what we're going to do now is we are going to jump into the news, and we're going to jump into the news with something really cool. We're going to start out here, Denelli, and we're going to talk about
Mhm.
Mr. Billy Tucci. Now, I know I love his art and his she. You enjoy Mr. Tucci's art as well?
Absolutely. And he also has a channel as well. So if you
He
guys
does.
want are interested, you can always go to his channel and see him draw cover arts and other things. And he has interesting stories, and that's always what draws me into those artists. You know, the stories that they tell while they're drawing, and kind of letting you guys know. And the best personalities are the ones that are always much helpful. And I think those
Yeah.
what kind of gravitates me, kind of like how I gravitate towards Artie Bear. He tells wonderful story while he's
Yeah.
showing how to do the arts and how to do the crafts. So it's
Mhm.
not that it's entertaining and informative as well.
Yeah, it is. No, I've seen some of his stuff too. He's got a bit of a potato for a computer and not a very good camera. I wish he'd upgrade that because I think he is an amazing
Mm.
artist, but he definitely needs to get better equipment. But he's a fun guy, that is for sure. And yeah, Archie Bear does kind of come to mind when you think about that. But you guys go check it out. Billy Tucci's got a YouTube channel. Uh, and of course, he's a great artist as well. Now, this is on Bleeding Cool here, this news, and it's from Rich Johnson. And it says that Billy Tucci's she now has a teenage daughter. Getting into this article, and they're showing some of this great Billy Tucci art, and just phenomenal stuff. But Denali, why don't you go ahead and tell us what is this article going on about? What's the point here?
So he made a character way back when, um, called She, which is a female half Japanese character.
Hmm.
And when he released it at, I think, 93, 94, um, it was popular because it was first time, having that kind of character. Now he's updating the storyline and updating the setting to include the daughter, which is next, which is next to him. So, like all parents, you know, she is now becoming a parent for a teenage daughter.
That's cool. And of course, that might be
So,
playing off a little bit too, because he's a father himself.
absolutely.
So it's just evolving the thing. And she, of course, it was an interesting comic. I remember reading it when I was younger. But
Mhm.
of course, the important thing is the art. Oh, stunning. Billy Tucci is a stunning, stunning artist. He's exactly the type of art that I like. Uh, so
Absolutely.
yeah, beautiful. And an interesting fun fact for the those of you who can see this, we're looking at a piece of art here from Mr. Tucci, where you have this young modern girl sitting next to she dressed in her anachronistic clothing, and she's holding
So,
a naginata. But just a little fun
yeah.
fact for you: here in Japan, the naginata is a woman's weapon. It is something that the women were trained in to use to defend their homes in case the men failed. So I know a lot of artists like to use the naginata, but it actually is a woman's weapon, not a man's weapon.
So this would be interesting with you. So you have children living in Japan, went to the university. So um, this could this might touch more to you because you have personal experience with your own wife and children as
Oh,
well.
sure. No, I'll definitely check it out. I like Billy Chucha anyway. But yeah, it's funny in this picture. The girl is sitting there blowing bubble gum and looking on her smartphone, just kind of, giving her mother a wait a moment finger. And yeah, it's very standard for a parent to have to deal. But it's cool. Little happy news right there. Little happy news. All right.
Rankin says, as long as he doesn't name the daughter High, it will be all right.
Sure. Um, yeah. All right. Well, let's move on from that happy little news into news that is not as happy. Now, this was out a couple days ago, but we wanted to look at it anyway. So let me see here. Now, tell us about this article right here, Janelle.
So, picture right there is Mark Zaid with a Z.
So he's a real
Who
person. It wasn't some kind of joke.
he
Okay.
correct, and he's Mark's Wade lawyer.
Hmm.
Sometimes Universe likes us to throw us those little jokes, and he was a couple days back comparing the bomb suspect to Comicsgate. So, you know, you know how they
Wow.
start out with you know how they start out like they're talking about one topic and then they completely shift and make the implication of something else.
Oh
And
yeah, like taking
it's a
someone who simply disagrees with you and then calling them a Nazi, being completely unaware exactly what that means. Hmm.
or yeah,
I get
so
you.
you're so yeah, it's like they're talking about one thing and then they say blah 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 blah. And we can read actually what he says because they have it on the article as well.
Yeah.
And
Okay. Well, let's
it's
do that.
it's
Oh,
kind of it's kind of funny.
yeah.
So
Go ahead. We got some tweets. Yeah. Please read it
yeah,
away.
so says this guy, 50 years old, lived with his mom, wasn't in debt, alt right Trump fanatic. I'm thinking he shares characteristics of many members of Comicsgate. So he
Wow.
starts out
Interesting.
with there, and then he goes left and just includes us. With
Hmm.
he's like, okay, so how did he come up with this?
Well, that's
Why
interesting.
did he
Let's
come
see.
up with this?
Well, I am a
But
guy. I'm not quite 56. I live with a
mhm.
woman who I made a mom, if that counts.
Are you in debt?
No, I'm not actually. I'm completely in the black actually.
Excellent.
Yeah, it is.
And by the way, I charge Mark Wade $1,250 for this tweet. So please donate to the legal funds at GoFundMe.com
Now, I wonder if that's
forward slash.
true. And if it is true, why would you say something like that? I mean, talk about arrogance. Goodness. Well, let's keep going. Let's keep going.
So no. This is kind of funny. So we need to keep him tweeting. Keep him tweeting because he's
Oh yeah.
charging Mark Wade $1,250 per tweet, and he's been tweeting like about say 20 tweets, 9 that EVS called. So he's up to I don't know what's a math. Who's a math whiz here? 150 times 20 tweets in the last couple hours, $25,000 based
Wow.
on what he wrote there.
Yep.
So
Yep.
yeah, so everything that he raised there, he's just everybody's just giving him to tweet this. So everybody knows that now. It costs Mark Wade $1,250 per tweet from his
There
lawyer.
you go.
So
We
keep
make him
so
pay. Make him pay, man.
yeah.
Actually, Vailnit makes an interesting comment here about Billy Tucci, the previous story. She said that he's using Kickstarter and she can't support the leftist Kickstarter. Now, it's really interesting thing with that is I've been doing. I'm mainly into board games and stuff. I've been doing that for years, and we use Kickstarter all the time. Matter of fact, board games are kind of what makes Kickstarter their money, to be honest with you. But we always kind of looked at Indiegogo as being the leftist one. But now that I'm over here with this and looking at both sides, well, that is definitely true. Kickstarter has become toxic, and Indiegogo is certainly open to having making money. which is good. And by the way, Dr. Wright, hello, I see you there. Nice to see you. The link is in the group. You can join if you'd like, sir. But go ahead, Denali. Keep reading this amazing Marcus Zaid, this expensive and very important man. Go ahead.
Absolutely. So, oh wait, he might have most recently been living in his van rather than with his mom. Is that a step up or a step down?
I don't know.
So,
Was it a step van? Sorry, I couldn't resist. All right, yeah,
it's true.
keep at it, man.
But that no, that's it's wonderful. Just keep
It is, yeah.
him tweeting because that cost him Mark Wade $1,250.
Yeah, we're up to $2,500. Let's read the one that
Yep,
brings us up beyond that, man. We're getting up in the $4,000 territory now. All right, go ahead.
absolutely. These Comicscape people are so pathetic. They live for conspiracy. This guy, and I have no clue who he is, think I or Matt Wade is false flagging his YouTube videos. As if we could care less, heck, that's why I don't even mind giving him some attention here.
Okay, who's he talking
Which
about?
is kind of, he's talking about Ricotta Law.
Oh,
Um, and here's an interesting thing about it, and I think Tug touched about it as well,
mhm.
which was that he had erased a Facebook post because one of the people on the comment says, "Hey, Mark, did you want me to take care of this guy?" In regards of,
Wow.
re- yeah. So he
Take
had
care
to
of.
delete. Yeah, take care of this guy.
Mm,
So that Facebook got deleted, and when they mentioned it, he said it was false news until, the internet, nothing is truly erased, and they found it in the archive and uh, screenshotted it back to him, and he remains silent at the moment.
yes.
But yeah,
Excuse me.
you guys just a reminder: every time he tweets, it's $1,250.
Yeah. Yep.
So all that donations is actually that $75,000 is just to pay for all the tweets.
Yeah, yeah, and the rest of us got to go to Richard because that's what he's done.
Yeah,
But anyway,
yeah.
yeah, just welcome to uh, Hillel Pernod or Penrod. Hopefully, I pronounced that correctly. And yeah, he said another 1250 for the tweet. Yep, absolutely, sir. Uh, and let's see. Are there any more here? Do we have? Oh, we do. We have more tweets. Oh, it's that picture. Okay, go ahead. Go ahead,
Yeah,
Janelli. You're on a roll, man.
racism racism and insensitivity and harassment is never the answer. Help us fight it. Spread the word. Yeah, spread the word. Get him to tweet. That's for all that
Yep.
cost him another $1,250.
Wonderful. Oh, there he is, the man. Oh. Oh, there's more. My goodness, this guy is just spending money left and right. Go for it, man.
Help us fight racism, intolerance towards women, and LGBTQ in the comic book community. My client Mark Wade has created a GoFundMe page to offset the cost of the lawsuit we are defending and paying for this tweet. It is time to stand up to Comicsgate because principle and ideals matter. You know, um, he has a little point because we are fighting racism and intolerance
We
towards women
are. He's right.
in the LBTG. I think he's a little confused. I think he forgot to put anti Comicsgate
Oh,
there.
well, there
But
you go. But
yeah,
that correction would be another $1,200, man. So
yeah. No, no,
there you
no.
go.
We got to keep doing it. No,
We
keep
do.
going.
Holy goodness, he's
Um,
still wow. He just spending money, 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 money. Go for it, man.
Help us fight racism and intolerance towards women in the LGBTQ. In the comic book community, my client has created a GoFundMe page to help offset the costs of the lawsuit we're defending. It's time to stand up to comics because principle and ideals matter. So he's now repeating himself and costing Mark Wade another 120 at
$1,200.
that one. Yeah, $1,200. So no, this is fine. This is fine. Keep no, we like Zaid.
Is
I
there
like this
more?
guy.
Could there
I know.
possibly be more? Could there be?
Let's
Oh
see.
my goodness, there is more.
This is what the alt right folks of Comicsgate do. They try to harass and taunt those who object to the racist and discriminatory views of women in the LGBTQ in the comic book community. Their
Wow.
efforts won't work or deter.
Yep. Okay. And of course, we don't talk about those things over here because we don't actually care. But actually, we're far more diverse than they are in reality. Oh, is this a response? Oh, a response. Maybe I'll read the response.
Sure.
Switchpoint. I'll get that pesky plumber hog. Did some work for a Yellow Flash guy. Found some interesting photos of Mark Zaid. Have fun and use these for whatever you see fit. Maybe meme them. Use them for a title card. Whatever fits your needs. Hashtag Comic Cake. Hashtag Gamergate. Yeah, okay. I guess you could use him, but he's just a normal looking fellow, to be honest with you. He's not a particularly anything funny there, but let's see. Oh my goodness, he is spending money. And Hillel, thank you very much for keeping a running count, sir. This is very useful. Okay, go ahead, Denelli.
All right. I know this firsthand as Comicsgate trolls attack me because of my legal representation of Mark Waid. Typical alt-right manipulation and harassment, no doubt, happens on the left as well, but certainly not as pronounced. The internet has unfortunately given alt-right a voice.
Mm,
And then he tweets another tweet from it. So that's
wow,
that
that's a
he
double one.
says,
Hillel, count
yeah,
that as two. All right,
yeah.
all
So
right.
here's the thing. Here's the interesting thing. He doesn't really talk about why his client is being sued. Isn't that interesting?
Yeah.
He talks about defending, women in the LGBTQ community plus minus anti non-binary 1 2 3 4 stuff, but he doesn't talk about the actual reason why his client is being sued, which is tortious interference, which means that a third party interfered in a contract, a business relationship between two parties, and that third party was unrelated whatsoever.
Mm.
So,
Well,
and causes financial damage to one party.
oh, sure. Yeah. And we have Miracle Man here. He's got something to say too. Miracle Man says, "Hey, Mark Zaid, Esquire, if you need further evidence that Gators are a troll army who enact harassment campaigns, be sure to check all the comments on the GoFundMe page." Oh, we will. We will, Mr. Miracle Man. We'll absolutely check that. I mean, they're not known for subtlety, but to swarm on the GoFundMe page. That strategy right there. Okay, well, we learned that from you. All right. And oh, look, he gives a response too. Wow, we got a lot of them going on here, Janelli. What does he say?
It's actually fascinating to watch, but having been in the comic book community for over 45 years, it's
Mm,
also sad to see too. So
wow,
he's been in the community as well.
he says so.
Hmm. Okay. I hope people, can follow up on that. We really want to know how he's been part of the comic book community. I mean, is he a reader? Is that we just need clarification about that. It just showed that they're scared and it perfectly reflects the type of character they truly are.
Mm,
This tweet will now be troll. Wait for it.
one,
One, two,
two,
three,
three. Oh, and that's the end
three.
of it. Wow. So what was the total there? $10,000.
So,
Sweet, sweet. Well,
so
what do you think, Denali? Does this deserve a rant?
no, no, no. We just need to let everybody know who are listening in the audience in the chat. Um, have him continue to tweet because it cost Mark Wade
Hmm.
$1,250.
Sure.
And just through this article, he came up with a total of $10,000.
Yeah. And besides, it's clickbait, it's bait anyway. They're just trying to get you to troll on them. That's what they want. So you know what?
Yeah.
Next. Now this one is very interesting, Denelli. Why don't you tell us?
Yeah.
Because we had the article that came out the other day that we read that Facebook message, which was wow, that was very interesting. We read the
Yeah.
whole thing, right? And here we
Correct.
have another one. I'm guessing it's not the same person; it's a different person, right?
No, same person. This is a update and kind of clarification and more context
Oh,
of
okay.
what we read. So the person on the right is Sharon Pierce Lost Outlaw,
Nice
and
Halloween costume
she,
she's got going on. Sweet.
yeah, from uh, Detroit.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And yeah, so they put in the Facebook message that she wrote. that we read yesterday about his abusive behaviors and poor business practice,
Hmm.
but they also add a interviews from CBR that he did way back about what happened that situation. So I think it would be good to hear the other side of the story, how he presents the information.
Well, sure.
Uh,
Go
it-
ahead and read that for the folks, man.
but before we read it, let's go back up to the picture.
Okay. Right
Um,
here.
s- yep. So the gentleman on the left is Jason Outlaw Pierce, and that's the husband of Shannon Pierce.
I see.
That was his then girlfriend, then wife, who he divorced and handed over the comic book store in the middle, and that's Miss Blanche. So she's also a writer as well and wrote some comic books. I can't remember specifically off the top of my head right now. And then there's Mr. Wade in his full glory with the smirk, and
As usual.
you know,
Yeah. And
as
just
usual.
keep in mind, guys, as we go into this, please hit that like button, subscribe, hit that notification bell so you know when we're coming on, and share it out. Let it help us grow and help us, continue doing what we're doing. We really appreciate what you guys are doing. But Denali here is going to take us into the depths of, I'm guessing, Mark Wade's mind.
Yes, Kingdom
Sweet.
Come comes soon.
All right. Well, we'll come down here and
Yep.
you can go ahead and read it.
So from CBR News, can you explain what happened to the store over the past few weeks and why your former partner is out of the picture? Mark Wade. There's a lot of factors that created a situation where I had to offer our partners a full buyout, and none of them evil, none criminal, none cheerful or celebratory. But the heart of it came down to the fact that he hasn't been treated particularly well or with transparency by his previous partner. Over the calendar year of 2014, we kept face planting against more and more profit crippling back taxes bill that hadn't been disclosed to us when we originally bought in.
Oh, I
Every
see.
time we thought, yeah, every time we were current, some other ghost from alter ego paths would surface. Christy and I had to divorce ourselves from the entity if we wanted to stay solvent. If we're going to continue into 2015, we desperately needed the clean debt slate we thought we were getting when we first partnered up. And that meant reincorporating as Ah Yeah Comics Muchi. And that means Ah Yeah Comics is officially a chain.
Okay. All
So
right. So
so that's from
basically, he did nothing wrong, and it's somebody else or something else's fault. But he didn't
correct.
disclaim that there was that what was said to him didn't happen. He didn't say I didn't do that. He didn't say that didn't happen. He just is trying to explain why it happened. It's interesting.
Yeah, so there wasn't nothing in there. It appears that from the first article when we spoke about Sharon Pierce Outlaw, that I guess Jason Pierce had signed an NDA to not say anything about the matter. When and I guess he had to pay from that, but it doesn't seem like she had the NDA and could say it out. So she's basically seeing this and I guess felt the need to report, this is what's going on. This is a trouble, but this is continue with the same trend that we've been hearing since 2000. That he has a uncontrollable temper
Mhm.
and he creates situations that makes it uncomfortable for people to work with,
Yeah, no.
and
Yeah, this is well
that's
known
and that's
about him. That's right. Yeah.
yeah. So it's just another pattern, and this could be, with this information, this could actually be used as a further evidence of pattern if the uh, Richard Myers lawyers want to use that as building a case against Mark Wade by showing history of him, you know, being like that. It's like even
Hmm.
with a legitimate reason, he went into this. And now look at this. He knows how to do it, and he did it when he has no business to interfere
Yeah,
of that.
well, it's what
So,
he does. It's
mhm,
just a pattern, right? Let's come over
yeah.
here to chat and see what these guys are saying here. Draken says that you see the colored picture I dropped on Twitter, the one of the links covered by Miller. and the Spawn versus Cyberfog by E.J. Morgs. No, I haven't, but I will go check it out, Draken. Everyone should go check that out. Uh, he's continues to talk about that. Primarch Sanguinius says, "I'm honestly not convinced that Zaid isn't just Mark Wade's alter ego." Well, it is an interesting prospect, especially because of the very similar names. I thought it was odd when I heard it, but hey, you never know. He could be trying to troll us. Um, let's see anything else here. No, guys, you're just interacting with each other. So yeah, no, let's continue with this though. We are not done, folks. We are going to go over here, and then let me go ahead and refresh this. Okay, let's see what
Yeah.
we're up to. Now, $46,505 has been raised out of the $75,000 that he wants. Now, that's not a small bit of money, huh?
No, but just gotta remember, just subtract 10,000 from just the tweets we read.
Yep, that's true. That is good. Good point. Good point. But of course, we've been covering this past couple days because it's funny and we're getting a kick out of it. Oh, look, Chris Morris put $100 down. Hi, Chris. Good job.
Mhm.
Good job. Good way to throw your money at Richard Meyer. We're not going to go over what all it's about, but basically, he's just saying that he's the White Knight protecting all the diversity peoples who are too weak to protect themselves because he is the great Mark Wade from the evil, evil, evil that is Comicsgate, in particular Richard C. Meyer. And of course, we all know that has nothing to do with it. What it has to do is him being a bully and going over
Yeah.
and forcing Antarctic Press from dropping the publishing of Jawbreakers. That is the reality. And it's so funny to me because it's literally the opposite of what he's claiming. But these people over here that's throwing money at him are either his friends, which is fine, or people who have not bothered to research it at all. Not even a little research. This is not speculation, folks. This is documented. That's why it's going to court. So you don't go to court and then with it just a complaint that my feelings were hurt, and then actually get the case. No, you get that because you have evidence, and they do have evidence, and a little bit of research would show you at least that you should sit back and wait to see what happens with this because it doesn't look good. But anyways, what we want to do is to continue looking at these comments that we were reading the past couple of days. And Jeffrey Robb says, Comicsgate can go fork themselves. Well, we have a spork. I don't know about
Yeah.
a fork. See what I
The
did there?
sport.
That was kind of funny. Spork Man
Yeah.
goes to Japan. That was a joke.
Sport. Yeah. Spork will protect us from the fork.
He will. He will. Uh, and you got Kathleen here says, people he needs assistance, not hateful remarks. Oh, hateful remarks. Are there hateful remarks? I don't know. Let's continue, Jenny. What is Chris Morris? He gave $100. Let's see what he had to
This is
say.
it. Yeah, this is important case. Plus, Mark is one of my writing heroes. And one more thing, he was nice to me when we met.
Oh wow, I that's really good. He was nice to you. All right, excellent. And what did Jesse say?
Sad to see that Mark Waid has become such a villain.
Ooh, Jesse has an opinion. Oh, he must
Hmm.
be that hater comment we were hearing about. Dustin here
Yep.
says, "Well, look at that. The who's who lineup of people I should never buy product from again. Mark Waid is an ideological bully, a coward, and broke the law by committing tortious interference. Did I mention that he broke the law? If you stand with him, you don't deserve a penny from comics fans. Get him, Dustin. Get him."
Yep. And this is through, and we're reading these comics, uh, comments through GoFundMe
Hmm.
on the Mark Waid page. So directly
Absolutely.
from there.
Just go to GoFundMe and check out Mark Wade, and you'll see all this wonderful glory of ignorance that's going on over here. Like from Pearl, who says, in need of help. I don't know if she's saying Mark's in need of help or she's in need of help. Well, whichever.
You
What does
know,
Sean Gordon have to say, Denali?
I donated because people who are against increased diversity of race, gender, sexual orientation, and uh, gender identity among the people who make comics and character who appear them can piss up a chimney.
Okay, I've never heard it really put that way, chimneys and urination, but hey, you learn something new every day, I guess. But
Hmm.
the funny thing for me is that it's kind of like a broken record, huh, folks? They keep going on about how much we hate these specific things. And the simple fact of the matter is, I haven't heard anyone hating on any of those things. Have you, Denali?
No,
No,
No, we
I missed it.
we what yeah, no, what we dislike about the current trends of comic book and what's being written and being sold to us is a pandering of hollow representation.
Ooh.
That they're not real representation. They're stereotype dressed up and saying, "See, this is must-see TV. Here, two guy kissing," and then it doesn't really matter. There's no emotional impact. There's nothing to be said. It's just there to pander and
Oh
get
yeah.
it's basically a clickbait that you can't return.
Oh no, no, it's absolutely, and in truth, it's quite disrespectful. And this is the thing we see with these extreme progressive types. They say that they're protecting people, but in truth, what they think is that they look down on them. These people are less. They're weak. They're incapable of protecting themselves. I must because I am better. I am superior. That's how they think, and that's how they can throw these things around so easily without even contemplating. You don't even know who you're talking about, let alone what you're talking about. But that is the fight. That is what's going on. We are complaining about poor art and poor stories, and they are simply saying, well, you complained, therefore that means you are this horrible thing. Let me think for a minute and I will find something more horrible to say to you. And that's what they
Yeah.
do. And that is the whole
And
reason we're here.
yeah, and we definitely recommend that you guys look into it yourself, those who are
Mhm.
listening in the future. Read up, make your own decisions, be informed of what is being said. And ask the questions, why is this an issue in the first place? And look at the cause. And you'll see that, those who are they labeled us as Comet Skate, and we and because they feel threatened by us because we're telling the truth. And the truth is sometimes not what people like to hear. No, most of the time they hate to hear the truth. They like to hear only what sounds good to their ears. And if you tell the truth, they get angry because they can't confront it.
True. All right. Well, let's come over here to the chat and see what you guys are saying.
Mhm.
They're having a bit of a conversation between themselves, but Dirk Draken is talking to Primarch Sanguinius, and he says, "I mean, from what he said, he has one big cases, but that could just be luck." Primarch says, "It seems like he was a fairly competent lawyer before Twitter became a thing." And Draken says, "Or he just couldn't act stupid in public without Twitter." Interesting. Hillel says, if I counted correctly, the screen went up and down a couple of times, but I think I was accurate. I think you did. I think you did a great job.
Mhm.
Thank you very much. Uh, they're continuing over here. Draken says, Marvel and DC could literally use that list of supporters to clean house if they were smart. I think we've all made that understanding that they're not. None of your business says, I'm steamed. Who but a lobotomized chimpanzee would believe Wade is a hero to anyone? Thank you, none of your business. I felt that, man. I felt it. Primarch Sanguinius says the definition for hero seems to have changed quite a bit nowadays. Well, that's a very good point, Denali. We see people want to put the label hero on things all the time. Oh, you went to a rally and you sat down and ate cookies. You're a hero. You did this or that. You're a hero. Well, the definition of hero is very, very simple. You put your life on the line to protect others. You put your life in danger to protect others. That is what a hero
sometimes
is, right?
and sometimes you give up that life
Sometimes you do.
in the yeah.
Yeah. Now, I mean, there's plenty of adjectives we have in English we could apply to people who do great and kind things, but this word hero has been completely abused these days because, like we said, the definition is very clear. But yeah, thank you very much, Primarch Sanguinius. And there's continue the counting. Amazing they aren't keeping anonymous because it shows how arrogant and how above the law they think they are. Well, that is definitely a truthful statement. Um, Hillel says that's what he claimed in one of his tweets. Hmm, that's it. He did say something like that. Yeah. This seems to be the case. Da, 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 da. Hillel says there isn't even an attempt to find out who they are talking about. They don't care if what they say is even true. They just feel like they can say it and win the argument. The progressive, the progressives leftist. Yeah, well, they are left leaning, but I prefer to use the word progressive, or you could even use SJW, although I think that's a far too honorable a word for them. But because left and right is not that, it's not a big deal. It's not a liberal thing. There's plenty of good liberals. As a matter of fact, I probably think Denali's a liberal. But no, progressives are a completely different animal, and that's what we're talking about. Yeah.
Yeah.
Did I just dox you as a liberal?
Wah wah wah.
But I mean, no, we got a lot of
No.
liberals over here, libertarians, conservatives. It doesn't matter, right? We're not here for the crazy politics. We're here for the fun of it, right? To enjoy
Yeah.
this India revival, right?
Yeah. So, and Durakin says, what makes a hero is someone who sacrificed to do the right thing,
That's
in
right.
particular to save, rescue, or fix a problem. And that's the case, you know.
Hmm.
And that's what we see, the greatest heroes are the ones who, either gave up their life, usually, and, made a positive change in the community.
Hmm. I love
Right
this one
now, I
here,
don't.
Denelli. This from
Mhm.
Matt. He says, "Mark rules, Richard drools." I love it. That's funny.
Let me see. So every time Trevor and Andrew post, Mark gets another donation. So let
Mhm.
me see. Trevor, if you support that, well, let me read what
I'm
Trevor
sorry. Go ahead.
says.
Yeah.
Okay. If you support this, knowing of his tortious interference with Richard C. Myers and Antarctic Press, you are fundamentally a bad person. Even if you hate D and C, you cannot support this and be in the right because everything Wade did was in the wrong, legally and morally. This man is no hero. He doesn't stand up for the weak. He keeps them under his boot. He doesn't care about women. He doesn't care about people of color. He doesn't care about the LGBTQ community. He only uses them as weapon for their own gains. This is an evil man who needs to learn that he doesn't get to ruin other people's livelihood, not anymore.
Mm,
And that's the state of affairs right now.
yeah. Well,
That
it comes down to this. You don't help someone because they are a LGBT or a black person or Indian or whatever diversity title you want to use. You don't help them because of that. You help them because they need help. And therefore, it doesn't matter what they are and what they look like. And that's really what the difference is. The average human helps a person, right? These guys don't
right,
help people. They help a
okay,
diversity title. This is their problem.
right. And here's the thing. Here's the funny thing. For those who call racism, who's actually labeling everybody into groups?
Hmm.
You know, I don't see the other side doing this. I see the far left progressive and those who
Oh
say
yeah.
defends them adding labels.
Yeah, no, the
And a
majority of us
person
don't do that. Yeah.
Yeah, and I don't find that, reassuring because last time people started labeling happened around 1933, and there was a national election that made a certain uh, person chancellors of a certain country,
Hmm.
and we had to bear arms, because we could see the evil of it,
Yeah.
and about 6 million people um, more or less were affected with adverse with adverse endings that are tragic.
Yeah.
Um, so I'll
That's
just leave it
war.
like that. Yeah, I'll leave it like that.
Mm. Hello, GOP gamer. How you doing? And Eric Hutfless is here. Hello. Sorry about the last name there, Eric. Welcome, welcome. Thanks for joining us. And as you see here, Janelli, Peter Lacosta says Mark deserves all the support he can get against these bigoted monsters. Denali Lama has been called a bigoted monster. The world is going to end. Unbelievable. Bigoted monster. The language it's like they're in some kind of in contest to see who can come up with the most worse and disgusting thing to call someone else they don't even know. It's funny, but here's another one from Broen Kelly. Say, I think that would be the way you pronounce that. I stand with Mark because he stands against racism, misogynistic bullies. Okay, thank
So
you.
Um, how was it? Bronwyn? Um,
Maybe. Hmm.
maybe you should talk to Miss Shannon Pierce Outlaw,
Hmm.
um, and see if you still stand by that statement. Because I believe Miss Shannon Pierce Outlaw is black and a woman, and he bullied her and her husband,
Yeah.
and
Well, it's not.
that's a
He's not the
fact.
only one. He's done it before. Yeah, it's true.
Yeah, no, no,
Uh,
and I'm just saying that. Just I recommend you speak with reach out and see if you still come stand by that comment. But
yeah.
otherwise, well, let's move. We could be here all night and
We
keep
could
talking
we
about.
could be, and we're having fun, and it's really enjoying to see these people lose their minds over this things that they haven't even bothered to understand. But it's actually quite entertaining, and we're not sitting here complaining and railing. We got to go on Twitter and get them. Not at all. We're just having a
No.
good laugh at it, is what we're doing. But Eric says, "I'm a monster like Grover is a monster. Grover can count and skate." Yes, Eric. I think I'd rather be Oscar the Grouch, but you can take Grover.
Durankin says, I stand with myself because I don't have to keep an eye on anybody else to see where they are.
Oh, oh, I screwed that up for a second. Sorry, wasn't in the right
No
mode.
problem. All right. Thank you, Hellet.
All right, sorry about that, guys.
Yep.
Just getting ready for the other aspect I have to do. All right, but anyway, let's go ahead and let's move on to something more fun. What do you say?
Yeah, absolutely.
Indicron.
Yep.
Let's talk
So
about it a little bit.
you got Gusto Early to Rise, which is an anthology book.
Did it again. Goodness gracious, what am I doing? Sorry about that, folks. Still trying to be learn to be professional over here, but we'll get it right.
Boomerism jump scare.
Yes, that was my hollow. That's what it was. I was just trying to give you a jump scare like a black cat. Okay. All right. Adios, amigos. Yes. All right. Go ahead.
Absolutely.
Sorry. Gusto. Early to rise.
Yep. So 2 days left. I believe he still has a long way to make it for his goal. Interested in his art and you're interested in the small story, um, this story anthology he has, check it out. He's his goal right now is for 2,500, so I'm guessing that's just the base price for to buy, to print out and do the cost and shipping.
I would say so.
Um,
Yeah.
so yeah, so if you're interested, check it out. This is from Junior L. Ruiz.
Yeah.
He's the author on that.
And that's the one that Pixel Trader, of course, is Indicron. It is a sponsor of Fanspeak, and we thank Pixel for all the things he does to help us. And he's put that up for the one coming up to close soon to try to get us some focus. But what do you say we choose one of these here, Janelli, and talk about it for the next few minutes before we end our show today? Which one of these looks interesting to you that you would like to talk about?
Let's see. How mm,
That's a new one.
shall we go? Yep. This layer, I believe, is already have been funded through Kickstarter. They're now here
Oh,
for it, and they actually made it. So yeah, so this has been funded, and they're doing another run with Indiegogo. So they have their art is good as well. The newest one that came in is Johnny Phantoms in the
hmm.
Tales of New Detroit.
Ooh, that's a nice title, huh?
Mm-hmm.
You want to check that one out?
Sure. Sure. This is a horror pulp.
All right, let's check it out together and let's see what we think. All right, well, there's a piece of art right there. It's very Joker-esque. It's extremely Joker-esque. Um,
Mm-hmm.
all right, well, they got some other pictures here we can look at. There's a little bit of looking at a scene. Looks very Trump-like. Hmm. Uh, he's boxing in a ring or a wrestler, maybe. They have a
Yeah.
shirt. Well, that's cool. I want a shirt. I need a shirt. We need a fan speak shirt, man. That would be cool. All
Crypto
right,
faction.
let's come down here and let's see here.
Sure.
Johnny Phantom is an 80-plus page story of a 1970s New Detroit hitman who has lost all ability to care. You guys should go back and check that. He has pushed away his family, his love, and any feelings of empathy. When a hit on a corrupt priest goes sideways, Johnny is cursed with an immense otherworldly power at the price of what's left of his soul, a mix of underworld gangsters, disco balls, violence, and voodoo. Johnny Phantasm is Beetlejuice meets Scarface. Do you need Beetlejuice versus Scarface, Denali? Is that what you need in your life, man?
Just I just can only imagine um, Montoya coked up dealing with Beetlejuice. Can you imagine that?
That would be funny, though. That would be a funny version of Beetlejuice, actually. I think I could envision in my head that would be actually you get a kick out of that. It could be funny if it's written well, right? What do you think about the art
Yeah.
style?
It actually looks better and it's colored as well. So from a lot of the other projects, and I think I like the lines better, where the other lines are a little.
Hmm.
You feel that they're not confident. This one has a feel of confidence in their drawings, and I like the sequential arts, and they're adding the sequential arts to kind of show,
Yeah.
what they're showing.
Oh, it's cool. No, the art's not so bad. I mean, art is subjective, of course,
Mhm.
but I think it looks fine. It's not bad. It's not the best, but it certainly has a style. And Draken actually asked a question over here. I think that's pretty interesting, Denelli. He says that, how do you guys feel about flexible funding, where the funds are being used to create the product, but it fails to reach its goal, so can't get the product out nor send back the money? Um, that is a good question. Do you do a Indiegogo where it's a set and either makes it or it doesn't, which is what I'm used to being over here in Kickstarter, or with this flexible fold goal thing, which could result in people not getting products, right?
Right. And you have to trust the campaign person who's doing the project as well. Um, and you have to have confidence that even if it doesn't make it, that's the risk you're willing to take. So when you're entering in these projects, um, and they have such a high goal, and they're not actively advertising, and you're not connecting with them, then that's a really higher risk. And that's something that we talk about, where we see a lot of these smaller projects fail, is because we don't see a lot of noise from them, kind of
Mm,
deal. And it's something kind of like what John Diller has been said with last night's fan speak,
yeah.
after hours, which was, you have to bring attention to your work. You have to keep showing the work, and you have to get the ears of those bigger streams. You just can't expect somebody to say, "Hey, this is cool. Let's bring you in." You know, so you have to keep pushing to showcase your art, and that's the only way you're going to succeed. If not, then your art is doomed to be forgotten, unknown, or unseen, and you're
Mhm.
not going to go anywhere. And you're just going to get into you're just going to be frustrated at the end.
Mm. It is a question. I think we should keep an eye on it. We might want to take some
Mhm.
time to research it and, give some actual statistics on that. Maybe we should try to contact Indiegogo and get general statistics about those kind of things, and maybe they might give it to us. But who knows? But here we have from Riot Press, Patrick Thomas Parnell. We have Johnny Phantasm in the Tales of New Detroit, 1977. It actually looks pretty good. It's a laid out page. It's a good Indiegogo page. We've certainly seen worse. Like we were talking with Critias yesterday with his Detective Dad.
Mhm.
His Indiegogo at first didn't look good, but by the end, by right now, it looks wonderful. And that comic looks really good, and there's a lot of excitement behind it, and I think it's warranted. So this guy's starting out real nice. It's a good looking page, I think. So
Yeah,
good
and it's
luck.
a fixed goal
Yeah,
as
and good
well.
luck to you. Yeah. Well, anyway, guys. That is our show for today. Thank you very much for joining us. We talked a lot about what's going on with the Mark Wade situation, but it's certainly worth talking about. And it gives us a good look into the slings and arrows that keep coming our way for no good reason. We can sit back and have a good laugh about it. We enjoy all of you guys coming in, sitting here and chatting with us. Thank you very, very much. And I can't say much more than that, Denali. It's just we're having a fun time and a great ride and all this support, and it's really good to be on FanSpeak, man. I'm having fun. How about you?
Absolutely. We change our routine and everything to do this, and
Absolutely.
I always look forward to jumping on, talking with you guys, and chatting with the chat and those who are listening in the future. I hope you continue supporting us and listening. We're having great fun and we're growing, by the week. So,
Mhm.
yeah,
Oh
you
no,
guys,
it's
we do
amazing. Yeah, it is amazing, guys. And we're going to keep doing the best we can. We're going to keep trying to have a. I'm still looking for that perfect stream, Denali. I thought it was going real well today, and then I went and screwed it up by over here on the Streamlabs by dropping the outro twice real quick. So I don't know if I'm ever going to get that perfect stream, man, but I'm going to keep trying for it. And that's kind of the fun of the challenge for it for me. But anyway, guys, thanks a lot. We have all the links down below. Please check those out. We gave out that Craven's Last Hunt yesterday, and Trusty Sidekick won that. I'm going to be sending that out today, actually. So we're
absolutely.
really happy about that
Um,
giveaway. Yeah.
and then tomorrow, not tomorrow, but on Tuesday,
Hmm.
the 30th, we are going to be doing Over and Underrated again
Yep.
on Bugs Bear Basement. And the issue that we're going to be reviewing and talking about and getting our analysis is Animal Man issue number 5 by Grant Morrison. So,
Grant Morrison, Animal Man. That was a great run, by the way. Oh, did I just give away my opinion? Oh, I gotta stop doing that, man. Yeah,
yeah.
we'll definitely present that. That's going to be fun. If you guys haven't read Animal Man, do so. And we're telling you what we're going to be doing on the Tuesday comic book because we want you guys to go read it, right? Get a copy in any way you can and read it. And therefore, you come on with us. You can in the chat give us your opinions. Do you agree? Disagree? Let's have a conversation about it. That's kind of the fun of the idea. But yeah, we're going to do that on Tuesday. And of course, we do comics news today, every day, and we have Fan Speak on Fridays as well. And of course, we have those at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We've tried to take out that block, and so that we're always at the same time, so you guys know where we are. You can expect us and come on back. So thank you all very much for joining us, and we will see you tomorrow.
Aloha.